Hello everyone, in this video we're going to go ahead and find the area of irregular figures. One strategy that can help us find the area of irregular figures is using the area of shapes that we already know. And two shapes we know how to find the area are rectangles and triangles. So here we have a couple of shapes and they're located on dot grids. And so how dot grids work is the horizontal and vertical space between two dots is going to be worth 1. So keeping that in mind, I know that the base of this square is going to be 1, and the height of this square is going to be 1. So using base times height, I know that the area of this square is going to be 1. So the area of the square is base times height. Now let's find the area of this triangle. I know that the base is going to be worth 1, the height is going to be worth 1, so what's the area going to be? Comparing the triangle to the square, if I overlaid this square here, I see that that triangle is worth half the space. So the area of that triangle is going to be worth 0.5. And that's how we get the area of a triangle. We take that rectangle, we take base times height, and we cut it in half. Using that, let's find the area of this last triangle. I know that the base is going to be 2, and the height is going to be 1. So to get the area, I need to do 2 times 1, and then cut that in half. So 2 times 1 is going to be 2. Cut that in half. The area of that triangle is going to be 1. So using the area of these shapes, using that square, using that half triangle, and using that whole triangle, this is going to help us find the area of these weird shapes. So let's put that in action by looking at our first practice problem. Here I have this irregular figure, and I'm not sure how to find the area. So one thing I can do is break it down into shapes that I already know. So on the left, I can see this square here. I can see another square, and another square. So counting up all the squares, I so far have an area of 4. Let's break this down even more. On the bottom, I see these 0.5 triangles, another half triangle, this 0.5 triangle, and 0.5. So adding up all these half triangles, I know that 2 halves make a whole. So these bottom triangles are giving me an area of 2. And now let's take a look at the top triangles. This is a 2 by 1 triangle, which we figured out on the previous page. And so 2 by 1, this has an area of 1. This has an area of 1, area of 1, and area of 1. So adding up all the top triangles, that gives me an area of 4. Combining each of these pieces, I know that the total area of this shape is going to be 10. Let's practice another problem using this example. So I'm going to take this shape and break it down into more familiar shapes. The first shape I like to look for are going to be squares. I can see a couple of squares inside here. I see one square right here, which is worth 1. This square here has an area of 1, and this square has an area of 1. So far, I have an area of 3. Now the next shape I like to look for are going to be these half triangles. Triangles are worth 0.5. I see this half triangle over here, 0.5, another 0.5, and another 0.5. So those half triangles are giving me an area of, so far, 1.5. And all that's left is this bottom triangle and this triangle on the right. So taking a look at this bottom triangle, this triangle has a height of 1 and a base of 3. So I know to find the area, I need to take 1 times 3, base times height, and then cut that in half. So the area of that bottom triangle is going to be 1.5. Taking a look at that right triangle, it has a height of 1, 2, 3, 4, and a base of 1. So this is a 4 by 1 triangle. So to get the area, 4 times 1, cut in half, that area is going to be 2. So adding up all these pieces, 3 plus 1.5 plus 2, that's going to be 6.5. All right, let's take a look at our third practice problem. And let's try using a different strategy. So instead of taking this shape and breaking it down to smaller pieces, another thing we do is find the area of this whole rectangle and then subtract the empty space. So how is that going to work out? So first I see that this is a 4 by 4 square. And so the area of that whole shape is going to be 4 times 4, which is 16. So what I can do is take that 16 and subtract out the empty space. I can subtract out this triangle, and this triangle. So taking a look at the upper left-hand triangle, this is a 4 by 3 triangle. So 4 times 3, cut in half. That's going to be an area of 6. On the right side, I have this 1 by 3 triangle. So 1 times 3 cut in half, that's going to be 1.5. And this bottom triangle, it's a 1 by 4. And cut in half, that area is going to be 2. So taking the whole 16, subtracting this 6 here, subtracting this 2 down here, and subtracting this 1.5 here, what's left over is going to be the area of my shape. So 16 minus 6 minus 2 minus 1.5, that's going to be 6.5. Right? Let's find the area of our last practice problem. So here, let's find the area of this shape. And let's use our second strategy. First, I'm going to find the area of this whole figure. This is a 3 by 4 rectangle. So 3 times 4, that's going to be an area of 12. So you're going to take 12 and subtract these outside space. This is a 1 by 2 triangle. So 1 times 2 cut in half. That shape has an area of 1. So subtract 1. This triangle over here is a 1 by 3. So 1 times 3 cut in half. That area is going to be 1.5. So I need to subtract 1.5. And this bottom triangle is going to be a 1 by 4. So 1 times 4 cut in half. That area is going to be 2. So subtracting this 1, subtracting this 1.5, and subtracting this 2, I know that what's left over has to be the area of my shape. So 12 minus 1 minus 1.5 minus 2, that's going to be 7.5. 7.5. So we have two strategies for finding the area of shapes. We can take a irregular figure and break it down into smaller parts, or we can take the area of the whole space and subtract the empty space.